Everybody knows that April showers bring May flowers, but another important truth is that June brings the appearance of rainbows. Happy Pride, y'all! Today on Book Chats, I'm going to tell you about some books that will help you celebrate Pride this month, but also all year long. Hi, I'm Miss Cote, and I'm back for the final book chat of the year. Today I'm going to tell you about some great books that have been in our library for a little while, some of them over a year, and these are books that I always feel like, man, why don't these get checked out more? They're like hidden gems. In fact, 2 of these books have never been checked out of our library, which is a shame. So today I'm going to highlight some things that you guys should definitely read this summer. The first book I'm going to tell you about is called Everybody Looking by Candace Elo. This book is written in verse and is about Ada. Ada is just graduating high school and going on to college at Howard University, very prestigious. And she has a kind of intense Nigerian-American father who has very high expectations for her. And in addition, she'll be the first generation of her family going to college. So the expectations are kind of doubled because of that. Ada's mother is kind of in and out of her life because she struggles with addiction. And they have a very strained relationship. And Ada doesn't really feel supported by her. The thing that makes Ada the most happy, that makes her feel the most like herself, is dance. When she was young, her father enrolled her in Nigerian dance classes as a way to kind of connect her with her heritage. And she just kind of took to it. And for her whole life, she has loved the feeling of dancing. It makes her feel the most free. And so when she goes to college, she decides to explore dance kind of on her own and take some classes. And through these dance classes, she meets Kendra, who is another amazing dancer, and the 2 of them start to form a connection. This book is beautiful. It's lyrical. It was nominated for the National Book Award. It'll be a quick read because it's written in verse. And it's one of those special books that takes place kind of in the in-between time. We have somebody who's graduating high school and then going on to college. So I know a lot of you guys are in that situation right now, and you might want to read about what that's like. If you are, I hope you'll pick up this book, Everybody Looking by Candace Elo. The second book I'm going to tell you about is called I Hope You're Listening by Tom Ryan. This is a very twisty mystery thriller, and it's about Dee, who is the host of a true crime podcast that investigates missing persons and sometimes finds them, called Radio Silent. 10 years ago, when Dee was just a little girl, she was featured in a news article herself because her best friend was kidnapped. And not only that, Dee was present at the kidnapping. And for some reason, the kidnappers decided to take Dee's best friend but leave her behind. So she got known as the girl who was left behind. She struggled with that, the trauma of that occurrence and of losing her best friend and not doing anything about it for years, and actually started her podcast as a way of coping with that trauma. So now Dee takes tips from all over the country, and she and a bunch of other internet sleuths kind of investigate these tips and try to discover what happens to these missing people. Dee lives in a very small town, and at the beginning of this book, another little girl, is taken. And Dee kind of instantly feels that there might be some connection between this girl's disappearance and her best friend's kidnapping 10 years ago. So Dee starts investigating. She finds a lot more than she expected. There's a lot of interesting twists in this book. It went places I did not expect. This book has a very ripped from the headlines type of feel to it. And it's another one that I just had to stay up late like finishing because I had to know who did it and what was going on. Tom Ryan is one of my favorite new mystery authors. We have 2 books of his in the library now, and you guys should definitely rescue this one from the shelves. It needs to be checked out more. The last book I'm going to tell you about today is called Flamer by Mike Corrado. This book is a graphic novel, which I really enjoyed. It's beautifully drawn, has kind of spare coloring, but it really makes your emotions swell when the color appears, and I think it was just so well done. This book is about Aiden Navarro, who is right in the summer before high school. So he just left 8th grade and is going to 9th. He is at Boy Scout camp, which he loves. He loves everything about it. He loves the crafts. He loves learning new things. He is a very religious person, so he likes that aspect of it as well. But what he doesn't really love is that there is a couple of the boys there who are just endlessly cruel to him, needling him about his Asian American heritage, but also endlessly needling him about the fact that they believe he's gay, and that to them this is like the worst thing that he can be. So Aiden struggles with that because he's not sure if he's gay or not, but he hopes he's not because everyone around him has convinced him that this is the worst possible thing that he could be. The boys around him seem to believe that that's just the ultimate insult, is to call someone gay. His own religion seems to tell him that this is an evil thing, that it's a sin to be gay. So he is struggling with who he is, how he feels, and how to navigate this world where everything about him, according to the other boys, just seems wrong. This book kind of broke my soul in half. It's so beautiful. It is so emotional. It will make your emotions come to the surface. I definitely cried at the end of this book. But I think this book is so important, and I think it's so authentic and real, and it definitely needs to be checked out a lot. So if that book sounds like something you would enjoy, it is on our shelves, waiting for a home. Please come and get it. Please come check this one out. It needs to be read. If you'd like any of these books or others that we have in our library, we've got a collection of 25,000 books, y'all. You can still come on Tuesday. We are having our fantastic open house tomorrow featuring board games and crafts and other fun activities. You will need a pass, but there's no limit. Your teachers can send as many people as they want. We're going to be hanging out all day and having a good time. And one thing you might not know is that we do offer summer book checkouts. So if you know that you want to read some books this summer, you can come down to the library tomorrow and check out a whole big stack of books. We'll load you up with enough to last you the whole summer. Take them home, and then we will set the due date for the fall, so you could keep them that whole time. It has been such a pleasure sending these book chats out to you guys all this school year. Next year's gonna look really different, but we made it, you guys. We made it through this school year, and we did it well. So pat yourself on the back if you're finishing this school year, because we all deserve that. I hope to see you guys at the library tomorrow. If not, have a wonderful summer, hags, and I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.